Hello everyone, this is White One Auto and we back at it again today. No Start King, so we got a no start in here. It's a 2011 Dodge Caliber. I believe it's an 11. Yep, it's an 11. With what size engine is in this thing? A 2.0. So we let the battery charger sit on there. We will, let's see, so we got a check engine light, but a crank no start. And it's just cranking away. So it's coming up 2011 Dodge Caliber. So let's run a code scan and see what we get. So let us see our codes. Looks like we got some in the TIPM too. We got 6 there and 2 in the engine. So engine, oh boy, an ASD main sent circuit. So I think that it's a 600. So that's got something with PCM or PCM power. So we probably need to look at that first. And let's see what these TIPM codes are. So that's airbag TIPM, battery voltage volt, CAN bus circuit open. Loss of communication, very loss of communication. So we will save all of these. The one I'm very interested in is that engine code. I believe it was like a 6. A P0688. So we need to get a description of that and look and see. So for our 688, it says the set condition is when the PCM detects an open or short for a drive cycle. And these are the possible issues. But they did give us a wiring diagram for our TIPM, our totally integrated power module. And let's make this thing a little bigger. So our ASD relay is here, and that thing, it will send power out to this fuse, which is the 30 amp fuse here, which goes down and that 30 amp fuse powers up a lot of this stuff. So we're gonna get our test light out and we'll start checking powers and grounds, because fuses 33 and 18 should be hot all the time because they get it from the battery, and then fuse 18 and 33 should be hot all the time, and 32 should be hot after the ASD relay cuts on, and then it powers it. And then that should send power down to these fuses here. See, it should send power down here. So let's check. So we got our test light hooked up. That's working. So we need to check fuse. This is 33, 32, and 18. Let me cut the key on. I thought I paused you, but I guess I didn't. So we ever so carefully pulled our cover off. So now we can check both sides, and that is good. And that is good, which I was sure of. So we're not getting power here, which powers up, I believe, our injectors and everything. So that is an issue there. So our ASD relay could be bad. So let me find out where that is and check that. So I wasn't able to find the ASD relay, but I was able to do a little bit of digging around, and I believe I found what they're calling the ASD relay. And I'll show you what led me to that. So first, when we put our code in, because I searched for ASD relay, nothing came up. So it was a P0688. Now, remember when we got to that code here it led us to this wiring diagram. And this wiring diagram, because I wasn't able to find anything, so I went back to our wiring diagram, and I remember fuse 18 was the control circuit for that relay. So I went and found fuse 18 in a wiring diagram, and the way I did that was I went to engine performance, and by the way, we are using Schottky. I went to wiring diagrams, so your electrical, then wiring diagrams, then system diagrams, and then I went to engine performance, and we have a 2.0. So then we scroll down here, and I'm gonna look, so you can see fuse 18 right here. This is our control for our relay, and that is a red with yellow wire. So I'm gonna follow that wire. You can see down here it goes a red with yellow to spot 1 on the next wiring diagram. So circuit number 1 comes in here, and then it goes back out to 1 again, and let's bring it. So it picks back up at 1. So this is our red with yellow right here, and that feeds into this relay, and they call that a main relay. So I believe that's our ASD relay, and I was kind of able to confirm that. Electrical, and then I went to component locations, and then we went to electrical component locator. Then there was this tab, buzzers, relays, and timers. So you see where that says main relay, and it gives us a diagram over here to go to. Then you click that, and then it shows it right here. So it's saying our main relay is this one in the center right there. So I'm not 100% certain if this is the bottom of the TIPM, but I don't think it is because it's shaped different. But it doesn't really tell us where this thing is located at. Because, yeah, so we need to find this. So let's go look around. So we know it's definitely not our TIPM, because our TIPM is shaped different, and it's got all of these connectors down here, and just look at that. But when I was looking, I see way down here there are some more wiring, and I'm really not sure. I know it said it's on the left front, that I believe it exactly said engine, but I've looked all on the engine and I don't see anything there. So we need to see what this wiring is that is down here, because I'm not really sure. So let's try to see if there is something down here. Oh, wait, there is. Oh. Look at that. Hold on. Let me zoom in on this. Okay, wait. So this is what I see down here. You can see somebody's been down here working. They got butt connectors, and this is exposed to the elements. So there is some type of box right here that I'm hoping that's our relay box, but we're probably gonna have to fix this monstrosity. I mean, what is this? How do you leave that exposed? Because this is where our wheel is. So let me get this thing up in the air. So we got our caliper up in the air, and this is what we find. So somebody's been in here and they call themselves doing wiring. So Yeah, this is just bad. So what we'll do is, I think this is our box right here. So I'm gonna cut this zip tie off and then see what we got in there. Got our module, our relay thing down here, and it looks like there was something there at one point in time that is now all burned up. So we're gonna have to do some investigation. Hold on, wait, let me go back to my diagram and see which one is the main it said. Let me go check. So it looks like this one at the top where it's burned out, that's a radiator relay, but our main one is in the center on the right side if it's facing us. So let's go take another look at the car. So yeah, I believe that's our so this one should be our main one, and it looks like somebody's already replaced that one because it's different. So these two have been replaced and that one's been removed. So let's pull that out and see what's there. So it looks like our terminals are okay there, but let us check for power and ground and see what we got. Let's see if we have power down here, because I can stick a relay tester in here, a relay sim, and we do have power. So since I know I have power on one of the legs, I'm gonna stick a replacement relay in here that has a switch on it that will allow me, let me get it to focus, to turn it on and then see if I have power up there at my fuse. So let's remember 32 should have been our output from our relay. So if we have power there now, all of that wiring is good. So let us see. And we do have power there now where we did not have power before. So let us put our fuse back in. Let's go in and crank and see what happens. Let's throw this in neutral, park. And it starts up. So we are running. See, we got a tach. Let me check the engine oil level to see, to make sure we have oil in this thing. So we've already pulled it out once and wiped it off. Let's see what our oil looks like. So there is way too much oil in here. This is after I pulled it out and wiped it off. So there's way too much. So I need to check our control side of our relay to make sure that is working. But let me start this thing up again. So let us. And it fires up. She is running. So that means that we do have power there and everywhere, but we are missing one of the fan relays. So now we need to check our control side to make sure that is good. Okay, so let's take a look back at our diagrams. This is our main relay, or our ASD relay. And so we know we have power coming in at 30. Now power goes out at 87, and we know that is good because when we put our relay jumper in there, it sent power out, and that's how the car was able to start. So now we need to make sure that that circuits 86 and 85 are good. So what we're going to do is use our scan tool and command the ASD relay on, and then once we command that on, we should then now energize this coil at 86, and then that should pull down, and then power should transfer there. And this here is our main relay, so it tells us that our two larger terminals, this is 30, that's good. So at 86 is where we should then be getting a ground, because we have power is coming in here. So I believe at 85 we already have power. So let me pull this relay out and we can check and see. So at 85 we should have power, which we do. We saw that earlier. And this is 30 where we have power. So this is 87. So when we command on, so since this is power, now 86 should now to go be a ground when we command on with our scan tool. So let's go in and do that, and let me grab another terminal jumper right quick. Show you again. So this is with it off. You can see our test light is not lit. It is now off. So now let me toggle back on. And it is lit. So we are getting a ground through our PCM. Seems like we may have just had a bad relay. I'm wondering, is that the case? Or was some of that horrible wiring loose? So let me see if I got another relay around here. So I didn't have a 5-pin, but I do have a 4. And I think this should work fine because I don't believe we were using 87A for anything. So we'll remove this. Right, see, there's nothing even in that center terminal. So we'll plug this in. And now what we're gonna have to do is lower the car and see if it starts up. So we will exit out of our scan tool mode here, just to make sure. Right, so that's where we were at. So let us key off. So we'll pull our key out. So pull our key out, stick the key back in and see will it start up. And it is running, and that's just with the relay in there. So let me key it off. Now we have saved our codes. Let's go in and reread. Make sure, see if that code was still in there. So go codes, ASD main, yes. So let us exit out of here. We will clear codes. So let's check again. No codes. We'll key off and let us start back up. Now we still got to check engine light. What came right back? It's telling us no code. But we do have a check engine light for some reason. What it's saying. So this wiring on this thing is real questionable. So pretty much we will let our customer know what we found. The wiring on this thing is very, very bad. Someone has been down there just hacking this thing away, and it's not a good thing at all. So we'll let them know what we found and what we think it'll take to fix it, and then we'll go from there. So we got all our wiring fixed. We've remounted our fuse box where it belongs. Excuse me, our relay box where it belongs. We've put some new relays in there. That's all set. Now it's time to lower the vehicle down, tighten up the battery cables, and see will it still start. So we got our battery cables tight. Now we drained the engine oil because we had too much. So let's check it now. We'll see it's coming up at a safe level. You can see it right there. It is safe. We'll top that off after we start it up. But it is safe to start. So let's go inside here and start this thing up. And it's running. Oh wait, and we don't have a check engine light. Whoa. So let's go in, because remember we did have a check engine light that would not go away. So let's run codes here. No codes present. Great. So this thing is fixed. Now before we did do our wiring, while we still had our relay in there, we did check to make sure that the cooling fans come on and that the engine would not overheat. We are getting a little bit of coolant leaking out of this reservoir bottle, I believe, so we'll make note of that and make note of a lot of other things for the customer. But as far as this car starting and staying running due to the ASD relay and that P0688 code, that has been repaired. So thank you to everyone for continually watching, commenting, and subscribing, and White One Auto out. So we did finish topping off our engine oil. You can see it there. It is good to go.